Senior, why many don't live past 82. Life after 60. Today, have you ever wondered this? Why is it that some older adults seem healthy, sharp, full of life? And then just a few years later, they quietly slip away before they even reach 82. No sudden accident, no devastating diagnosis, no warning signs. Everything seems fine. Until it isn't. My name is Dr. James. I'm a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience working alongside thousands of older patients across the country. And for decades, I haven't just helped people live longer, I've helped them live deeper, to live fully, with energy, with connection. And somewhere along that journey, I discovered something that stunned me. There's one key factor that determines not only how long you live, but how well you live after the age of 60. And yet almost no one talks about it. It's not blood pressure. It's not cholesterol. It's not even physical strength. It's something far more human, far more natural, but so rarely spoken out loud. It's something many people quietly let go of because of shame, misunderstanding, or the belief that I don't need that anymore. Today I'm going to share with you a simple truth, one that might just be the missing key to maintaining your clarity, your independence, and your vitality well into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. And the best part, you don't need expensive medication. You don't need to exhaust yourself at the gym. You don't need some complicated diet plan. No. What I'm about to tell you is simpler than that, more honest, more real, and it might just change the way you think about aging for good, because the truth is, you already have the tools inside your own body. They've just been forgotten, and now it's time to wake them back up. So stay with me for just a few minutes, because what I'm about to share may change the way you see aging forever. But before we dive into the heart of today's story, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, I'd like to invite you. Hit subscribe so you won't miss out on real, grounded, and practical health insights. Turn on notifications so each new episode becomes the next step in your journey to living well, living true, and staying deeply connected. And if what you're hearing today resonates with you, drop a 1 in the comments. If there's something you think we can do better, type 0. I read every single response because I'm here to serve you better every day. Now, let's begin. And the first thing you need to know is this. There's a silent epidemic affecting older adults. It doesn't make headlines, it doesn't spread through the air, but it steals vitality, it weakens the body, and it shortens life long before anyone realizes what's happening. Part 1. The silent epidemic: disconnection from bodily pleasure. When I sit down with patients in their 70s or 80s, the hardest thing isn't hearing about their health issues. It's looking into their eyes and seeing something far deeper, a quiet sadness they don't know how to name, a kind of resignation that life has grown smaller, colder, less connected. And across thousands of conversations, one truth has become clear. One of the greatest losses we face as we age isn't strength. It's sensation. Specifically, the sensation of being connected to our own body. No one talks about this, but it's happening everywhere. Day by day, millions of older adults are slowly losing touch with the very feelings that once made them feel alive. The sensations that brought energy, closeness, and joy. And the tragedy is most don't even realize it, because no one ever told them that this disconnection is not just part of getting old. A dangerous lie has crept into our culture. Society whispers in our ears that intimacy, touch, pleasure are things for the young. That after 60 you should let those things go. That closeness is behind you now, and it's time to move on. But I'm here to tell you that is wrong. Completely wrong, and in the next few minutes we're going to explore why. You haven't lost your ability to feel, your body is simply waiting to be awakened again. And the best part, you can start today, right now. with small, powerful acts that say I still belong to myself. In this next part, I'm going to share with you a quiet tool, something you've carried your entire life. But maybe you've never truly seen it for what it is. In our last conversation, we talked about what I called the silent epidemic, the quiet fading of connection to your own physical pleasure as you age. For many, intimacy, desire, and closeness become things we quietly surrender somewhere around a certain birthday or after a certain season of life. But here's the truth. That surrender doesn't just take away pleasure. It sets off a cascade of unexpected health effects physically, emotionally, even immunologically. And it's time we finally talk about it. When society whispers to the elderly, that part of life isn't for you anymore. Most of us were raised in a culture where intimacy, sensuality, and touch were reserved for the young. So when we reach 60 or 70, we quietly start to shut the door on our own bodies. We think things like, I guess I'm too old for that now. I don't feel desire anymore. Maybe that's just normal. Bringing this up feels awkward. I'm not young anymore. So we retreat. Some because of body changes, some because of emotional wounds, some because of grief and loss. But many, far too many, simply never knew that staying connected to your body is not only possible, it's essential for long-term health. That loss of connection becomes the first thread in a quiet unraveling. Did you know when you disconnect from physical pleasure, you don't just lose a source of joy, you also lose that healthy blood flow to vital organs. The neural pathways that once responded to touch and intimacy. The natural rhythm of hormone production that kept your body in sync. And from there, a ripple effect begins. You feel tired more easily, your mood dips, sleep becomes harder, your immune system weakens, and over time, slowly, silently, your risk of chronic conditions begins to climb: heart disease, depression, cognitive decline, not because you aged, but because something inside you shut down. I've seen this happen more times than I can count, not because the heart stopped beating, not because the bones gave out, but because the fire inside the one that once kept them alive, vibrant, and connected slowly burned out after being forgotten for far too long. And the part that breaks my heart the most, they didn't even know. They thought it was normal. They surrendered. Quietly, pleasure is not a luxury, it's a pillar of health. That's right. Intimacy, whether with someone else or simply with yourself, isn't a luxury. It's not just for the young, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of your health, as vital as movement, as essential as sleep, as foundational as nutrition. Letting it go doesn't just mean losing joy. It means losing the very systems that keep your body and your spirit alive. Your nervous system, your hormones, your circulation, your resilience. But here's the good news. There is always a way back. Whether you're 60, 70, or older, it's never too late to tune back into your body. It's never too late to feel pleasure again. Reconnect with the most alive parts of who you are, and begin a deeper kind of healing, one no medication could ever replicate. And now we come to the second truth, one that rarely gets said out loud. Why is self-pleasure after age 60 not something to feel ashamed of, but instead a powerful tool for whole-body health? Self-pleasure after 60. It's not taboo. It's therapeutic. I know. For many, this feels like a delicate subject. You may have been taught that this kind of behavior is wrong, or shameful, or meaningless at your age. But biology doesn't care about shame. It has a different story to tell. After 60, your body faces some real challenges. Blood flow slows down, hormone levels drop, muscle tone weakens, the nervous system begins to dull, and regular self-pleasure, what I prefer to call intentional personal connection, can help reverse many of these things. Yes, even without a partner, your body still responds. Many people believe that without a spouse or intimate companion, pleasure has no place anymore. But the truth is your body still needs it. Your body still craves it, and your body still benefits from it, perhaps now more than ever. When you self-pleasure, blood flows more freely to your brain, to your heart, to your limbs, feeding every cell. Happy hormones like dopamine and oxytocin are released, lifting your mood, improving your sleep. Sensitive tissues are kept supple and responsive, preventing dryness, atrophy, and numbness. And all of that leads to one thing. You feel younger. You stay emotionally connected, and you hold on to your confidence, your spark, your sense of aliveness every single day. In our last segment, we explored why self-pleasure, even after 60, isn't just relevant, but essential for physical, emotional, and mental well-being. It's not just instinct, it's rhythm. A quiet rhythm that keeps the blood-flowing, hormones humming, the nervous system alive, and the spirit deeply connected. And now let's go one step deeper to uncover the incredible biological and psychological benefits this practice holds, and why it deserves to be seen for what it truly is: human healing and profoundly important. Your body responds beautifully when you touch yourself in the most respectful, life-affirming way. When you reconnect with physical sensation, endorphins, your body's natural feel-good hormones, begin to flood your bloodstream. They soothe stress, they calm anxiety, they open the door to deeper, more restorative sleep. No sleeping pills, no herbal teas, just your body doing what it's always known how to do when you allow it to awaken. And here's something remarkable: testosterone gets a gentle boost too, which is no small thing, especially after 60. Regular physical pleasure can help stimulate natural testosterone production, just preserve lean muscle mass, and protect bone density, and support emotional resilience and stability. These aren't just fringe benefits. They're foundational to aging well. And your brain, it lights up in ways you'd never expect. Neuroscientists have found that when your body experiences pleasure, multiple regions of the brain activate at once. Memory centers, emotional regulators, and behavioral control hubs. In simple terms, pleasure gives your brain a full-body workout. The results: sharper memory, more flexible thinking, renewed creativity, a lighter, brighter mood. I've seen it countless times: patients who suddenly became sharper, more energized, and more intentional with their lives, simply because they reconnected with their bodies after years of quietly letting go. But the benefits aren't just biological, they're deeply emotional too. Self-pleasure, especially in later life, isn't just a physical act. It's an act of self-acknowledgement, of care, of tenderness. It says, this body, wrinkled, weathered, and worn, still deserves to be touched with softness, attention, and love. It shatters the dangerous myth society whispered to older adults, that intimacy belongs only to the young. Instead, it becomes a quiet reminder the spark is still there. Desire is still there. Pleasure, joy, and love, they never left you. And from that moment of reconnection, the body begins to change. I've seen people start eating better and choosing to walk every day, reaching out to old friends, and then perhaps most importantly, wanting to live, not just survive, all from one shift, a small personal moment of reclaiming ownership over body and mind. People ask me all the time, "Doctor, is it too late?" And my answer is always the same: it's never too late. Your body may need more time now. It might require more gentleness, more patience. But it still remembers. It still responds. It still has the capacity to give you back the quiet thrill you thought you'd lost. So why do so many older adults still hesitate? If the benefits are so clear, why do so many people shy away, withdraw, or abandon this part of their life altogether? The answer doesn't lie in medicine. It lies in something deeper, in silent, powerful beliefs that have been planted over time. And that's what we'll begin to untangle. In the next chapter, 3 hidden beliefs that quietly steal vitality in later life. After decades of working in this field, I've noticed something heartbreaking. Men and women who were once vibrant, expressive, and full of life gradually become quieter, smaller, and more withdrawn. Not because of illness, but because somewhere along the way they came to believe something that simply wasn't true. Mistake number 1. At this age, intimacy doesn't matter anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, "Well, I'm old now. I don't need that anymore." They'll smile softly as they say it, but their eyes give them away. There's a quiet sadness there, a hesitation. And that's when I want to say out loud, your age does not take away your emotional needs. Your age does not erase your desire for touch, for connection. It only changes how you express those needs. Letting go of this part of your life is like living in a house, but never turning on the lights. You can survive, sure, but you miss out on so much color, so much warmth, so much light. Mistake number 2. Exploring pleasure alone is something to be ashamed of. So many people grew up in an era where self-pleasure was painted as immoral, weak, wrong, shameful. And those messages, they didn't just disappear when you grew older. They settled in. They rooted deep. They became guilt that followed you quietly for decades. But I want to say this with all the respect and compassion I have. Caring for your own body has never been wrong. It's never been something to feel ashamed of. On the contrary, it's sacred. It's an act of gratitude for the life you've lived and the body that's carried you through it. In the last section, we looked closely at 2 powerful misconceptions. First, that physical pleasure doesn't matter after 60. And second, that finding that pleasure on your own is something shameful. But there's one more belief, deeper, more widespread, that's quietly drained the life force from so many older adults. Mistake number 3. Holding on to sexual energy keeps the body stronger. Now that sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Like saving your strength, like preserving energy so you don't wear yourself down. But the truth, it's exactly the opposite. Intimacy, yes, including self-pleasure, doesn't drain you. It fuels you. It keeps your blood flowing, your hormones balanced, and your nervous system humming like it's meant to. Your body is like a car that hasn't been started in months. Picture this, a car sits untouched in a garage. The engine hasn't run, no movement, no ignition. What happens? The oil thickens, the battery weakens, the tires deflate, the wiring starts to break down. Your body works the same way. The areas connected to pleasure, if ignored for too long, lose sensitivity. They weaken, and eventually they stop responding the way they used to. Regular self-pleasure is like gently starting the engine again. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to force anything. Just small, regular moments of reactivation can increase blood flow to essential tissues, keep your natural hormone levels from dropping too fast, stimulate the neurological connections between sensation, memory, and emotion. All it takes is gentle intention, not pressure, not performance, just presence. And all of that leads to this. Your body keeps its ability to feel, and your mind stays curious, more optimistic. And your spirit begins to relax, it sleeps easier. The biggest mistake, believing that sexual health is separate from overall health. In truth, they're so deeply intertwined you can't separate one from the other. When you nurture your sexual health, your heart gets stronger, your memory lasts longer, your muscles hold up better, your sleep becomes deeper, and most importantly, you feel like you're living again, not just getting by. But when you abandon that part of yourself, your blood vessels narrow, Your hormones fall out of balance, your immune system weakens, and your emotions dull, your spirit closes off. Understanding these old beliefs for what they are, that's the first step back toward real vitality. But knowing isn't enough. What you need next is a roadmap, clear, safe, natural, and made for a body that's evolved over time. That's why I created the restoration method, a step-by-step approach to gently reclaiming your vitality through reconnection with your own body. Part 4. The Restoration Method. Reclaiming vitality. One gentle step at a time. When I first began guiding older patients on this journey back to physical connection, I noticed something immediately. It wasn't motivation they lacked, it was direction. They didn't need vague encouragement, they needed a process, something grounded, real, doable, and that's how the restoration method was born. Step 1. Prepare your space before anything else, before thought, before action. You need a space that feels safe, private, and soothing. Choose a quiet room. Set the temperature to something warm, inviting. Have a soft chair or bed ready. And most importantly, a quality oil or natural lubricant within reach, because all of this sends a powerful message to the brain. This body deserves tenderness. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm doing this for me. Step 2. Relax, no rush, no pressure. Start by simply breathing. Slow, deep inhales, letting go with every exhale. Soften each part of your body, your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. Let your heart slow down. Let your thoughts float like grains of sand slipping through your fingers. This isn't a race, it's a return to feeling, to the part of yourself that always knew how to feel. Step 3. Awaken sensation. Now gently place your hands on the places you may have forgotten, the inside of your thighs, your lower belly, the center of your chest. Touch not to evaluate, but to remember. You're not inspecting your body. You're reconnecting with it. You're greeting an old friend yourself. Let your body answer back, even the smallest response. A tingle, a breath, a shift is your body whispering, I'm still here. I still feel, I still long to connect. Step 4. Intentional stimulation. Let the touch deepen, but keep it mindful. There is no goal, no performance, no rush to climax, no stopwatch ticking, just presence, just feeling, just letting yourself enjoy the moment for what it is. Slow, conscious movement lets you feel more deeply, connect more intimately, and enjoy the journey instead of chasing the destination. Step 5. Integration. The moment of gratitude. When you're done, don't jump up. Stay where you are. Lie back. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart and say out loud or silently, thank you. I'm still here, and my body is still walking this path with me. In the previous part of this series, we walked through each stage of the restoration method. From preparing your space, relaxing your body, reawakening sensation, to fully integrating each experience with mindful gratitude. But just like any journey, whether physical or emotional, reconnecting with yourself won't always be smooth or predictable. What matters now isn't perfection, it's patience and trust. Trust in your body, trust in your ability to feel again, trust that you are not broken, just waiting to be heard. Allow yourself to feel alive, gently or fiercely, however it comes. In that slowness, healing begins. No rush, no pressure to get it right. Just be there with yourself and allow this one simple truth to settle in. I can still feel, I am still alive. The restoration method isn't about taking you back. It's not trying to return you to who you were at 30. It's an invitation to meet yourself as you are right now, with all the wisdom, strength, and softness that Deem has gifted you. And the moment you feel even the faintest spark of reconnection, something clicks. You realize there is still so much inside me that's waiting to be awakened. But let's be honest, every journey comes with its challenges. Even with the right tools, even when you're doing everything right, there will be moments when you feel tired, or doubtful, or even tempted to give up. I've seen it in so many people, not because they didn't want to heal, but because they ran into invisible traps, the quiet, powerful barriers that wear you down. The good news, if you can name them, you can move through them. Challenge number 1. Unrealistic expectations. Many people believe if I do this right, I'll feel like I did at 25, and when that doesn't happen right away, disappointment sets in. But the truth is, your body has changed. And that doesn't mean you failed, it just means this is life. Success now isn't measured in intensity, it's measured in the return of comfort, gentle sensations coming back. The simple awareness that your body is beginning to listen to you again. Challenge number 2, inconsistency. Just like building strength or learning a new skill, reconnecting with your body takes regular practice. If you only do it when you're in the mood, results will come slowly, if at all. It's like watering a plant once a month and expecting it to bloom. Give yourself 2 to 3 times a week, not out of obligation, but as a quiet act of self-respect, and over time you'll be surprised by the gentle but powerful changes your body makes. Challenge number 3, pressure to perform. Some people enter every session with thoughts like, I have to feel something strong. It has to end a certain way, but that pressure causes stress. It tightens your muscles, constricts your blood flow, and blocks your emotions from surfacing. Let go of those expectations. Instead, ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? That's it. And whatever sensation arises, however subtle, is worth noticing, honoring, and welcoming. Challenge number 4, guilt or shame. Maybe somewhere along the way you heard that's not appropriate at your age. Older people shouldn't think about those things. It's selfish. It's strange. But I want you to hear this gently but clearly. Caring for your own body is never something to be ashamed of. It is an act of reverence, a beautiful gesture from someone who still honors the life flowing through them. Moving through these challenges isn't easy, but it is absolutely worth it. Because every time you take one more step, every time you choose patience and tenderness with yourself, you're not just nurturing physical connection, you're restoring vitality in your spirit, in your emotions, in your sense of wholeness. And then you'll be ready for something even greater. A full restoration of what aging can be, through a simple, powerful system designed for exactly this season of life. Not to make you feel young again, but to help you live deeper, to feel more, to rediscover who you really are after all the years spent living for everyone else. As this journey comes to a close, I want to leave you with just one thing: your body, your health, your emotions. They haven't disappeared with time, they've evolved, but they are still here. Reclaiming them isn't about chasing youth, it's about honoring the life you still have. It's about being grateful for the body that carried you through storms, the spirit that held strong through loss, and the heart that, despite everything, still longs to love. I've seen it. People at 60, 70, even 80 find that spark they thought was long gone. And from that spark, they live healthier, more confidently, and more fully than they ever thought possible. You deserve that too, and it starts with one small choice: to believe that you still can, that you're still worthy, that you're still alive in the truest, deepest sense of the word. What we've learned. You don't have to go back to who you were. You just have to begin today with one deep breath, one gentle touch, one moment where you let yourself feel something again, and every one of those small steps will bring you home to yourself. If this video resonated with you, if it helped you see yourself with more gentleness, more clarity, more compassion, hit like, so this message can find its way to more elders who need it. Subscribe to Life After 60 today, where you'll be heard, guided, and inspired every single week. Share in the comments what will you begin today, and if you've ever come back from feeling disconnected. Tell us your story. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Growing older isn't a period at the end of your story. It's the next chapter, one you get to write. This time with more depth, more softness, more truth than ever before. Write it with life. Write it with feeling. Write it with your heart.